Let's jump right into this. We're unpacking a topic today that honestly sounds like pure science fiction, but it's actually a very real, very serious multi-decade blueprint. We're diving deep into Elon Musk and NASA's grand plan for colonizing Mars. Yeah, you heard that right. We're looking at the actual, step-by-step strategy to build a fully functioning city on the red planet that could one day house 1 million people. It is an incredibly audacious goal, and the details of how they actually plan to pull this off are nothing short of fascinating.
But before we start geeking out over rockets and Martian habitats, we really have to address the elephant in the room. Why leave Earth at all? Seriously, why would we abandon our lush, green home for what is essentially a freezing, barren wasteland? Well, the answer comes down to an existential push. For centuries, Earth has provided us with absolutely everything we need. But recent data? It paints a pretty grim picture for our collective future. Scientists point out that ever since we began heavily relying on fossil fuels, like oil and gas, the health of our planet has been steadily declining.
Okay, let's dive into this specific piece of data. Research indicates that the Earth's average temperature is rising by exactly 0.16 degrees Celsius every single decade. Now, I know that might sound like a tiny fraction, almost nothing, right? But on a planetary scale, this is a massive, incredibly alarming shift. And the ripple effects of that temperature increase are severe. If this accelerating pollution continues, scientists predict that within the next 150 years, the currently warm regions of our planet will become completely uninhabitable for humans. We are talking about glaciers melting at an unprecedented rate, which leads to catastrophic floods, cyclones, and just extreme tsunamis. But wait, it's not just the heat. Our pollution has severely damaged the ozone layer, and that's the absolutely crucial shield that protects us from the sun's deadly solar radiation. So, between the rising heat and the deadly radiation, science is pointing to a future where Earth might simply not be capable of sustaining us anymore. And this is exactly why humanity is being forced to actively seek a second home.
Section 1. Why we chose Mars, our planetary neighbors.
So, looking at our options, we're faced with a brutal Goldilocks dilemma. First step is Venus. It's the second planet from the Sun, and it's actually our closest neighbor. But Venus suffers from the exact extreme we are trying to escape: runaway heat. The surface temperature there is so intensely hot that it can literally melt iron. So obviously, that's a hard pass. Then we have our other neighbor, Mars, the fourth planet from the Sun. Now, Mars definitely has its own extreme challenges. I mean, it has no oxygen, no liquid water, and it is freezing, with temperatures plunging to minus 100 degrees Celsius. That is significantly colder than Earth's Arctic regions. But despite these brutal conditions, it's actually our only viable option for survival.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of the journey. Crossing a vast 62 million kilometer expanse of space requires revolutionary technology. SpaceX is currently developing the Starship, which is a massive spacecraft designed specifically to transport humans across this staggering distance. Interestingly, according to the source material, this spacecraft is being engineered to incorporate battery technology similar to what's used in Tesla vehicles. That allows it to operate with maximum fuel efficiency to actually make this epic journey possible.
Section 2. The Robotic Construction Crew. Preparing Mars.
So here is the critical problem we run into. Mars is completely plagued by terrifying, highly destructive dust storms. If humans just land on the surface with nowhere to hide, they simply won't survive. So who's going to build the protective shelters before we even get there? Well, the amazing twist to this whole blueprint is that humans won't be laying the first bricks at all. A highly advanced crew of solar-powered artificial intelligence robots will be sent to Mars first to do all the heavy lifting.
The process breaks down exactly like this. And keep in mind, these aren't just single-task machines. They're a coordinated, autonomous construction fleet. Step 1. Specific robots equipped with advanced sensors will scour the Martian surface to locate a very specific type of soil. Once a rich deposit is found, boom, they establish a base camp. Step 2. Excavator robots dig up this dirt and transport it over to refining units. Finally, Step 3. This refined Martian soil is fed directly into massive 3D printer robots. These printers will painstakingly build protective shelters layer by layer. This autonomous construction process will run continuously for months, monitored remotely from Earth, ensuring that when humans do finally arrive, they have a safe, ready-to-go haven from those deadly Martian dust storms.
Section 3. Surviving the Red Planet. Human Touchdown.
According to the blueprint, the timeline kicks off in 2026. That's when a small, initial vanguard group of humans will make the journey. Because they are the absolute first ones there, they'll be bringing at least 2 years' worth of vital supplies with them. Food, oxygen, everything they need. And get this,
When they land, the robot crew will actually welcome them, transport their cargo from the landing site to the base unit, and help them move into specially designed cabins. Because Mars has almost no atmospheric pressure, these cabins will be artificial, pressurized, inflatable units designed to perfectly mimic Earth's atmosphere.
But let's be real. 2 years of supplies won't last forever. To survive long-term, they're going to rely on an ingenious, interconnected system of survival mechanics. For water, rovers have already detected frozen ice beneath the Martian surface, so the colonists will extract and melt this ice for drinking water. For food, they'll establish specialized greenhouses to grow their initial, resilient crops, specifically potatoes and beans. But these plants actually do double duty. As they grow, they'll also begin to emit small amounts of vital oxygen into the habitats.
Now, what's really interesting here is that plants alone won't produce enough air to keep a growing colony alive. We will literally have to manufacture oxygen on a planet that has absolutely none. They'll use a specialized CO2 extraction device. This incredible piece of technology, powered by a massive robotic solar farm, pulls in the Martian atmosphere, which is almost entirely carbon dioxide. It then uses intense heat and electrical current to strip the breathable oxygen right out of the CO2. So with food, water, and manufactured oxygen, this small team will prove that humans can survive completely independently of Earth.
Section 4. Terraforming. The final phase. The grand vision.
All of this survival tech is amazing, but it forces us to ask a pretty profound question. Are we destined to live in pressurized boxes forever? I mean, if the goal is a true second home for humanity, living indoors indefinitely isn't exactly an ideal existence. Scientists agree that to truly make Mars a home, we have to change the planet itself. We have to heat it up. This concept is called terraforming, and it's the ultimate goal of transforming Mars into a green, breathable, Earth-like world.
To achieve this, scientists are proposing some highly debated ideas. And the grand irony here is that we plan to use deliberate global warming, literally the exact thing destroying Earth, to save Mars. On one side of the conversation is a concept proposed by Margarita Marinova from MIT. Her idea is to build massive robot-operated factories on Mars whose sole purpose is to endlessly pump out smoke and greenhouse gases, slowly building up a thick atmosphere to trap heat over centuries. On the other side, we have Elon Musk's significantly more aggressive proposal. He suggests firing 10,000 nuclear missiles directly at the Martian polar ice caps. The sheer explosive energy would instantly melt the ice, releasing trapped gases and rapidly spiking the planet's overall temperature. The goal of this explainer isn't to judge or endorse either of these methods, but simply to highlight the incredible extreme lengths researchers are considering to force a dead planet back to life.
When we zoom out and put this all on a timeline, the sheer epic scale of the vision becomes crystal clear. Starting with that 2026 Vanguard mission, the plan really accelerates. After that, every 2 years, when Earth and Mars naturally align to be closest to one another, more ships, more supplies, and more humans will be sent over. By 2050, the blueprint envisions a thriving, fully functioning pressurized city of 1 million people. And as the terraforming efforts take hold, scientists predict that somewhere around 100 to 200 years from now, perhaps by the year 2150 or beyond, Mars could finally evolve into a fully terraformed, green, Earth-like planet where humans can actually walk outside without a spacesuit.
We've covered a massive journey in this explainer today, from fleeing a warming Earth to relying on AI robots to build our homes, and finally, to the explosive ideas for terraforming a completely alien world. Which leaves us with one powerful, lingering thought. Can humanity truly play God with a second planet? It is an absolutely audacious, breathtaking vision for our future as a multi-planetary species. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you next time.